Hey, what's happening, guys? Tandario here with another Options and Play video update. It's going to be a busy week. It's already started off busy. I mean, we have news, we got action, we got the market moving around. There's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot of opportunities, and I feel like the two-way action is definitely conducive for some bull trades, some bear trades. So I mean, both sides of the tape, right? I think that's going to be um, maybe one of the hallmarks of 2022. It certainly has been up until this point. I know it's just a small sample size, but two-way trading. So start to think about that two-way trading, right? One of the things I was kind of talking about on the VTF this afternoon, and what I wanted to highlight in this video was just the idea of lower expectations, right? After like after the last month and a half, a lot of people are looking at where a stock came from, right? Like CrowdStrike. The stock is off of its best level of the year, way off its best level of the year, trading up to 300. Now it's down below 200, trading to the 170s today. Really through no fault of its own. It got downgraded. Earnings were solid, but the stock really didn't recover, right? So there was back to back. So these drops were downgrade and then another downgrade, and then the stock dropped, and then earnings didn't help it recover, right? And then the market weakness, the software stock weakness. So it wasn't really like there was any definable thing from CrowdStrike itself that knocked it lower. So people were saying, oh, drop from 300 for really not the best reasons. Like, why can't it go back up to 300, right? So they're still thinking of where it came from. When what I try to do in situations like this, when stocks have really deep corrections or really big pullbacks, is thinking, okay, realistically, where can the stock go, right? And for me, realistic target, it's not 300. It's way lower, right? Like, because you have a lot of supply levels that it needs to work through now. Yeah, maybe eventually it could get back to 300, but if you're thinking about like a trade, realistically, right? 8 EMA, which is this green line, 20-day, and then above that, maybe like 210, 215 area, right? Like, you have a lot of levels that you would need to work through on the way back up. Um, it's got to get through the moving averages. It's got to reset above the moving averages. It's got to get through 210, which was a month-long resistance range. So if you're looking at like a trade, I mean, it could take a while for it to really start to turn the corner, and there might be trade opportunities in between that, right? I mean, you might get a fast move up to the 8 EMA, and then if it can chop around, then you might get a fast move when it clears the 8 EMA into the 20-day, right? And then once it gets above that, maybe 210, 215. So if you're a short-term trader thinking, hours, days, right? Your expectations should be lower, right? You should be thinking more realistically, like what could happen in the near term, right? Like what's possible in the near term. So really, you shouldn't be thinking like where the stock came from and that's where it can get back to. Yeah, maybe it could, but the more realistic scenario is lower levels, right? Like, it needs to bounce, it needs to start resetting, and really start to build some momentum as it starts to work back above these supply levels. So CrowdStrike is just one of many, 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 many names that are very similar, right? Like, so if you're looking for bounces, if you're looking for reversals, think lower, right? What are the levels? What's been in play recently? Whether it's the 8 EMA, the 20-day, maybe it's been like a lower resistance range, right? Like, these are the levels that you should be focusing on, not necessarily where it was in December or November and like those 52-week highs, because that's probably going to take a long time just to see those prices again. All right. So if you're looking short term, thinking more cash flow, think lower. All right. So again, I think it's going to be a really busy week. News, market movement, volatility, earnings season starts later this week. I mean, there's going to be a lot going on. So buckle up. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading events with options or swing trading with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options play. Have a great night, stay well, and I will talk to you.